best.
Words that come straight from the most successful people on the planet. What could be better advice? If you're an entrepreneur who wants to level up their life with tips from the wealthiest, keep watching this video. In this video, we'll give you a roundup of 10 valuable tips coming straight from billionaires. Number 10, let them talk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk is notorious for disrupting entire industries and turning a deaf ear to all the naysayers. When starting out with his first company, Zip2, he aimed to target newspapers and press to help them better understand how the internet would affect them. He wrestled through stiff resistance when he tried to move the company forward. His nationwide approach was shut down. Later, when he tried to merge with another company, CitySearch, the merger had to be canceled because the investors felt that it would harm the company. The self-made billionaire advises budding entrepreneurs to remain steadfast to their opinion and ignore the doubters. There's a reason why Tesla and SpaceX continue to do better and better each year, and Elon sits at a net worth of $69 billion.
So many people tried to talk me out of starting a right company. It was crazy. One good friend of mine collected a whole series of videos of rockets blowing up and made me watch those. He just didn't want me to lose all my money. We're doing these things that seem unlikely to succeed.
Number 9, take bold bets. Jeff Bezos. The richest man in the world, Jeff Bezos, has a net worth of $178 billion. Bezos is pretty well known for taking bold bets. Who would have ever thought that delivering books through the mail would turn into a trillion-dollar company that it became today? Bezos extends this philosophy with his other company, SpaceX, and the race to Mars. You only need that one idea to become successful. Even today, Bezos constantly makes large strides towards growth in e-commerce. Adding drone delivery is a testament that even 24 years after its inception, Amazon is still being bold.
As the leader of Amazon, is to encourage people to be bold. And people love to focus on things that aren't yet working. And that's good, it's human nature.
Number 8, move fast. Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg, founder of the largest social media network on earth, has a simple philosophy when it comes to working. Move fast. The entrepreneur with a net worth of $86 billion urges his employees to work fast and stay on top of changing trends, instead of resting on Facebook's already achieved milestones. Think of the reacting system that Facebook introduced. Instead of sticking to how things were, they rolled out a series of like-type reactions. Faced with some hate at first, they were soon accepted and are now adored. Who knows what Facebook might bring in next? In hindsight, every significant update to Facebook or affiliated apps have been groundbreaking and high risk. That's what Zuckerberg's all about.
These things are valuable when they're controversial, right? And it doesn't mean that we always need to do it. And it's not like any company wakes up in the morning and they're like, we want to move super slowly, right? So what I want this to mean for us is that we want to build our culture and our infrastructure so that we just try to move, 1 or 2 clicks faster than other companies. And
Number 7, have a radically open mindset. Ray Dalio is the owner and founder of the world's biggest hedge fund, Bridgewater Associates. He has a net worth of $18 billion. Dalio is a strong advocate of a fluid mindset that forces you to question everything you know and believe. According to him, truly inspirational ideas often go against the consensus, but going against the consensus is a really risky move, which is why a person who can be their own biggest critic and not get attached to their beliefs is more likely to be successful. This theory transcends into questioning what you see as well. Sometimes we see a problem and jump to the solution. However, we should really question what we see and identify the root cause. To do so, we need a thought process free of all external barriers.
First, everybody has to put their honest thoughts on the table so everybody understands. Second, you have to know the art of thoughtful disagreement, how to go back and forth and listen to each other and improve. And third, you have to have ways of getting past those disagreements.
Number 6, invest in yourself. Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is currently worth over $80 billion and is the owner of several household name companies like Duracell and Fruit of the Loom. His advice to young college graduates is to invest in themselves. Whether it's taking up a course or putting yourself out there, In an interview, he said that investing in yourself, like improving your communication skills, will instantly increase your value by 50%. This advice is pretty apparent in Buffett's personal life as well, as Buffett loves to invest in himself by his reading as much as possible. He's known to spend 5 to 6 hours a day reading books and corporate reports.
By far the best investment you can make is in yourself. I mean, for example, communication skills. I tell the students that come that they're going to graduate schools and business, and they're learning all these complicated formulas and all that. If they just learn to communicate better, and both in writing and in person, they increase their value at least 50%.
Number 5, outwork everybody else. Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, who you probably know as the billionaire investor on Shark Tank, has a net worth of $4 billion. Cuban is of the firm opinion that not giving your idea everything is what causes businesses to go down. According to him, you need to know the most about your field, your skills, and work the hardest if you want to succeed. There's always someone more experienced than you, and you need every edge you can get. Cuban has been a strong advocate of an unwavering work ethic. Before his big break, he was relentless in learning new things. If there was anything to know about the tech or networking industry, he knew it. He would attend conferences, read manuals, do everything possible to succeed.
What would you say is the number one reason why people fail?
Lack of brains, lack of effort.
Lack of brains, lack of effort.
Yeah, they don't do the work, they don't learn, When you walk in the room, when you start a business and you start to talk about somebody, you're never in a vacuum with no competition, unless you're just extremely lucky. And if there's going to be competition.
Number 4, become dream-oriented. Oprah Winfrey. Perhaps the most famous person on our list, Oprah Winfrey, has a net worth of $2.6 billion. She started life in a poor household in Mississippi and made it as far as she did with this philosophy. Her advice to young college students is to follow their dreams. Your dream must be your top priority. Work towards your vision with all your energy. Oprah herself had a very challenging life, but her dream in life was public speaking, as a child and as an adult. She was exceptionally good at addressing audiences, and making that her career is what gave her the success that she has today.
Life has dreamed a dream for you. And your goal, your number one job is to figure out what that dream is. And align yourself with the dream. Because the dream cannot come to you unless you're willing to meet it.
Number 3, ask for advice. Bill Gates. As a young college dropout, Bill Gates had a vision to improve the ecosystem surrounding personal software and operating systems. His startup, Microsoft, has earned him almost $115 billion over the years. Despite being one of the most famous and richest men on earth, Bill Gates adopts a policy of always learning and asking. Over the course of his life, he's seen massive success as his startup reached new heights. Despite all this, he still looks to his friend and mentor, Warren Buffett, for advice. Bill Gates asks college students to do the same and look for guidance, as it only broadens your horizons.
I have enough people that know me and actually know where my judgment isn't its strongest, where I might get overexcited about something or, forget to think about something. And so they're good at correcting, particularly Melinda, good at correcting whatever those blind spots are. And I think it's good to encourage.
Number 2, delegate the work. Michael Bloomberg, owner of Bloomberg LP and U.S. presidential candidate, believes strongly in delegating work and bureaucracy, which makes sense since he was mayor of New York City for more than a decade. Bloomberg built his business from scratch with an idea to provide a terminal that would allow investors to access financial tools and analyze the market. This idea has made him worth almost $60 billion today. His advice is to segment your work and not centralize everything, which will only slow down the process and make things tough on you. Instead, you should give people their independence to work.
Big delegator in terms of a management style. If you're going to run a 24/7 organization, you have to do that. Anybody that tries to centralize everything through themselves or through their staff really is making a terrible mistake. But that's why lots of businesses don't work, and that's why lots of governments don't work, because they do exactly that.
Number 1, embrace failure. Sarah Blakely. Sarah Blakely is the founder of the American undergarment brand Spanx, with a net worth of $1 billion. She started off her career selling fax machines door to door, and eventually grew into one of the most influential people on earth. She was able to do so by learning from her failures. She built on top of failing her LSAT exam and quickly changed course. The idea for any entrepreneur, Blakely believes, is to not sit around whining about your losses. Instead, cut down on them and make your way forward.
I had always wanted to be a lawyer, and I basically failed the LSAT. I'm a terrible test taker, and that was a devastating moment for me, but what I quickly realized was that failure is nothing more than life's way of nudging you and letting you know you're a little bit off course, and Spanx would not exist if I had not.
That's a wrap.